Hi, today we are going to look at the documentation menu in Starfront. In fact, there are two menus, but it's a relatively short video, so we will cover both of them in the one video. The first menu is the system documentation menu. Once you click on that, you will see the following three drop-down boxes will appear. The first is the system type, the next is the system name, and then followed by the option. So let's take, for example, I want to look for documentation on the VistaFold system. What I do is I drop down and I choose sliding folding doors, because the VistaFold is a sliding folding door. Then I drop down, I have two choices, I have Series 5000 or VistaFold, so I'm going to choose VistaFold. And then under that option, I can choose the normal sliding folding door or the Vista Duo door. So let's choose the normal sliding folding door. Once I do that, you will see that these icons to the right hand side will light up, depending on which are available. So I've got a system manual available, I have a wall chart available, I have a brochure available. There are no standards for the VistaFold, so that icon is grayed out. I have limitation charts, I have a performance compliance report, and then I don't have this last option, which is just additional information that Speaker can supply on that product. So let's have a look at how we can access this. If I click on the manual button, the system manual, what it'll do for me, it'll open up as a PDF. All the documentation is supplied in PDF format on the Starfront program. So each manual will start with a front page, followed by a legal disclaimer, followed by an index. Then we will get the profile identification pages. That's identifying all the different profiles that are used to make a VistaFold door. Followed by the hardware identification pages or the components. Those are all the hardware items. Then we will get a butterfly and wedge glazing chart specifying the color-coded gaskets as covered in a previous video. And then we will get different configurations that are available. Sash limitations, so I can see here that the maximum leaf size, the VistaFold sash is 900 wide by 3 meters high. To go to the 3 meters high, you do have to use the Vista Mullion door. I've got the position of my fixing lugs, I get my cross-sectional details. So all in all, this is a 74-page long manual, which describes absolutely everything on how to manufacture that VistaFold door system. Just have a look at this small example here. This is an exploded view of one of these sashes, and if I zoom into a little bit of detail here, you will see that every single component, every profile has been drawn 100% accurately. Even the position of those holes on that profile or any cutouts that have to be made on those profiles will be shown. So Speaker have gone to a massive amount of effort to document exactly how these systems work and how your manufacturing process should work. So please, it's very important that you have a look at these manuals and that you follow these guidelines so that those products are manufactured in accordance to Speaker specifications. Alright, so we'll get drainage detail and we'll get a whole lot of other information. I'm not going to go through the whole manual. Okay. One of the nice things is what Speaker have also done is when it comes to machining, typically you would only be given these view B and view C drawings on the machining detail. And it becomes quite difficult for you to understand exactly which edge they are talking about. Once you can look at a 3D view of that, then you can see very clearly, those notches must be taken out of that side of the Vista Mullion, and I can get my dimensions from these drawings. So it takes a lot more time to produce machining drawings like this where actual 3D views are shown. But it is done to eliminate mistakes on your side and ensure that your factory manufactures those products correctly. Alright, so that is the manual. I can similarly have a look at a wall chart. So the intention of the wall chart is to give you a summary of all the profiles that are used on that system. A lot of manufacturers will take those wall charts, print them out and stick them up on the wall. You can print these up to A0 size if need be, as a reference for those profiles used on the system. Okay, then we have a brochure. These brochures are available from Wispeco, nicely printed on a glossy format. So if you want some marketing information on the Vistafol door, you can get these brochures and you can supply them to your customers. Okay, as I said, we don't have any standard designs. I'll show you the standards on one of the other systems. We have limitation charts. This will show you, based on the different sash profiles, what the limitations are. So this would be done at a wind load of 600 pascals, and then it shows you that if you're using an R1 plus an R3 special, it's in that yellow zone. R11, R11W is in the orange zone, and an R9, R9W is in the blue zone. Now this is for information purposes. Starfront does all of these calculations for you, so you don't need to actually work with these, but sometimes you're trying to justify to a client why you have to use a bigger door style, and these limitation charts can be used for that purpose. And you'll see they are at each different wind load. So the first one is at 600 pascals, this is at 1000 pascals, 1500 pascals, 2000 pascals. Alright, so that's what your limitation charts look like. A performance compliance report. Remember, these reports are non-transferable. The idea of this report is just to show you that it is possible to get an A2 test on a Vistafol door, and this was Wispeco's A2 test that they had performed on that door. Just so that you understand what capabilities each of the different systems have. Okay, and then if there's additional information. So let's just go and have a look at something that does have standards. So I'm going to take a Crealco window, I'm going to take a Swift 28. There is only one option here, so it'll automatically fill it in for you. And let's have a look at the limitations. And that's what a limitation chart is. So what it's showing you there is these are the different side-on configurations. These items in black don't use any mullions, so it's not applicable. Your green is your standard mullion, so those configurations. This is also based at a particular wind load. Okay, this is based at 1000 pascals. Your blue is where you need to use your 54mm mullion, and your red is where you need to use your 70mm mullion. Again, remember, Starfront does these calculations for you. This is just useful if you have quoted someone and they come back to say, but why you put in a big heavy duty mullion in that situation? You can pull out these standard guides and you can show people what the correct mullion is for each situation. And that will go at 1000 pascals, 1500 pascals and 2000 pascals. Alright, and there's also the same information for the top-up configurations. It also shows you what the typical range of standard windows are on that particular system. Alright, and help would just be additional technical information that you can read and access on that particular system you're looking at. In this case, the Swift 28 window system. Alright, so that is your first documentation menu. Then the second documentation menu is the one which is called Other Documentation. And this just contains a whole variety of documents. The first one is a document of all the standard profiles that are available from Wispeco. So this represents all of your angles, your flats, your round bars, T-sections, hex bars, equal angle legs, unequal leg, round tubes, rectangular tubes, square profiles, all the various profiles. So this section number is your die number, and then it will give you the critical dimensions and the mass and the perimeter of that particular die. So if you're looking for any general purpose aluminium profiles, Wispeco does carry a huge range of these. You can access this document to find a particular profile. Okay, that was your standards. The next is your glass regulations. Basically, this is a summary of the regulations that are contained within the Starfront program. So it has the limitations of external glazing for structures not exceeding 10 meters in height from natural floor level, and it will give your glass thickness versus the maximum area for each of those types of glass. It will also list competent people in glazing so that you can access them if you need to have any of these regulations overruled. So those are your glazing regulations. The next is a very important document. It's called the Crealco Installation Cleaning and Maintenance Procedures document. So this covers a lot of information. It covers, for example, let's get down to the pages, right as far as fixing the window, the different drills that you should be using, the different anchors that you should be putting in for your fixing lugs, your minimum distance from the corner of a wall where you can fit an anchor. So all of your fixing details are contained in here. It has got various fixing systems that you can look at. It'll show you the different types of fixing lugs, where to position those fixing lugs, what through frame fixing is, again positions for fixing lugs. It will tell you about your glass setting blocks, what is a glass setting block, what kind of hardness does it have to use. It will show you the positioning of your glass setting blocks. It will show you your correct glazing procedure to put your wedge gasket in, and various other information. So it's a very good technical document on the installation, cleaning and maintenance of the aluminium windows. Okay, so that was the next option. Then from time to time Wispeco releases news flashes. So for example, there was a news flash on the flush glazed curtain wall, and you can just access that news flash. This is the information which appears on Starfront on your marketing pages, which come up different every time you run the program. But if you want to access the previous one, you can just go in and you can access it through there. Then we have hotbox tests. So Wispeco has done hotbox tests. That's to determine the thermal performance of windows. And it will show you here that in this situation, the SWIFT 28 window obtained a U value of 5.78 and an SHGC value of 0.38. So once again, these forms are not, or these certificates are not transferable, but it shows you what can be achieved on the various systems available from Wispeco. So those are your hotbox tests. Then we have various system-related documentation. For example, we have the Crealco product matrix. So this is a matrix of the different systems that are available from Wispeco and whether they fall under the home, mansion, mall or tower classification from Wispeco. Then we also have, for example, this is a very useful document. This is a summary of all of the SASH limitations throughout the program. Once again, these limitations are contained within Starfront, and Starfront will automatically ensure you comply with these limitations. But just for reference sake, so if I just zoom in a little bit to this document, okay, this is Crealco Windows. So I can say the Crealco SWIFT 28, the standard sash, got a maximum width of 900 mils and a maximum height of 600 mils. That's in a top-on configuration. And in a side-on configuration, it's got a maximum width of 600 mils and a maximum height of 1200 mils. So I can go through this document. It has all the various Crealco window systems. It then includes your horizontal sliding windows, your vertical sliding windows, sliding doors, patio doors, shop front doors, and a variety of other systems. So once again, these regulations are all built into Starfront, and Starfront will warn you if you're exceeding these limitations. But if you want a nice summary reference document to use, you can access this documentation, this document. This is called the Size Limitation Guide. Okay, then the full Starfront user manual. For those of you who've done formal training will know you get a little printed manual. This is that printed manual, so you can go through and you can just read up everything about the Starfront program, how to install Starfront, how to run it for the first time, and how to do all of the basic features in the program. It's quite nice as a standard PDF. You also have a search facility, so you can just go and search for something and it'll find that particular item in the document for you. So that's your full reference of the Starfront program, the user manual for the Starfront program. And then finally there's a series of 8 videos. These videos that you're watching now are actually replacing these videos that are being produced. But there are a series of 8 videos covering various topics that are supplied with the Starfront program. And you can go into these videos, you can watch these videos, and you can learn a little bit more about the program. There's quite a lot of information available to you under the documentation menus. Please make use of these menus. A lot of time and effort goes into producing this documentation. And it's important that your factory manufactures in accordance with this documentation as well. Once again, thank you for your time to watch this video. Please stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, and we'll see each other again soon for another video. Goodbye.